beloveds, welcome to my channel. Welcome to the HR Perspective with your corporate queen. My name is Ulianda Duma, and if you're joining us for the very first time, welcome to the family. This is home. And if you are returning subby, thank you so much for choosing me once again. Actually, let me not even disclose this, but yeah, I think let's get straight into the video. I hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are working and that everything is going well in terms of employment. If you are still seeking employment, this is the right place for you to prepare yourself for your next employer. But most importantly, I think it's very important that, we have sessions here on the HR Perspective that kind of prepare us and groom us into becoming the best version of ourselves so that we are able to show up in organizations as our highest self. So today we are having a coffee couch moment. Wait, my coffee's there, but it is a coffee couch moment. I've just literally made this up as I was setting up for the video, but basically we're just gonna run with the term coffee couch moment, where we will be discussing more thought leadership and not necessarily anything HR related, but obviously thought leadership is very vital to groom you as a person. So these will be short clips, straight to the point, to just develop you as an employer or even an employee, right? So skills to survive the current work environment. I'm going to take you through 5 skills that I feel are important currently to survive the work environment, to also survive the changing nature of the workforce, of organizations and so forth. So let's get straight into it. If you haven't already subscribed, please do click on the subscribe button, like the video, comment down below what do you want to see more, how are you engaging with this content. In fact, also, what skills do you deem necessary to survive in this current work environment? If I've left out anything that has worked for you, do share, because this is home and we're all here to grow. So skill number 1, stay informed and remain teachable, right? So there's a lot that's happening in different industries in the world as a whole, right? So I always say that the change that is happening globally is affecting all the different countries in different ways, but also then affecting the environments, the organizations rather, as well as the different industries in different kinds of ways, right? So we've seen how HR has shifted and is changing, as we've moved to a more digital space, so artificial intelligence, virtual interviews, and so forth. So it has caused an effect on the different kinds of industries. So it's important for you to stay informed. Google and see what the trends are in your respective career, in your respective industry. How can you then adapt to meet those changes, or to make sure that you are still relevant and your skills are still relevant for the changing nature of work, right? The teachability part of it comes with, once you know what the changes are, how can you then teach yourself and remain teachable, knowing and how you can upskill yourself rather to meeting these changes as and when they happen, right? And I think the best, the best place to start is awareness. For you to make a decision, for you to skill yourself, upskill, reskill, you need to be aware of what the changes are and where the changes are going. I hope I'm making sense. Number 2, flexibility, right? So things are changing, skills are changing, qualifications are changing, qualifications are becoming redundant. You as a person, you with the skills that you possess, with the value add that you carry, also need to be very flexible with the changes. I know for a fact that I am not technology savvy. Technology is not my strongest point, but I've had to adapt real quick, especially as an HR professional, having to conduct interviews virtually, having to keep up with AI and all the different digital trends that have been implemented within my industry and within the world of work. I've had to teach myself and become flexible, because if you are not going to change amidst the changes happening around you, then uzosala, you know what I mean? Akwazi ukuthi izinto zingashintsha but wena awushintshe, you're remaining stagnant. because then you'll become redundant, and then you'll find that your employer will then let you go because they don't see how you are adding value. So always be very flexible. You know what I mean? And they always say that a different level of your life will require a different version of yourself. And I think that goes to, that can also, work in employment as well. As the organization changes, it requires you to show up as a different person, probably with different skills or a shift in perspective or whatever the case may be. And I think it's very, very good to have these conversations with your line manager, with your CEO or whatever, whoever's in the organization, with things are changing. How is it that we, as the people within the organization, can accommodate the changes so that we remain, value adders, if I may put it that way, or we remain up to date with the skills and trends that are happening, so that, the company still performs and they don't see having you around as a cost to company and wanting to let you go, but rather, yes, you are a cost, but also you are bringing in that value, and there's ROI, in that relationship between you and your employer, right? Number 3, you need to, during this time, be polishing up on your networking skills. I always say that, and this is something that in organizations that I have, recruited for, and I'm still recruiting for, which is sometimes word of mouth. We use word of mouth as a way to recruit and to fill urgent position. So you need to be in contact and be in touch with people in your respective industry, right? This is through LinkedIn. Join the communities of accountants, join the community of HR professionals, join the community of whatever it is or field that you're in. Network, always be loud about what you do and the kind of value that you add for business. Don't be, apologetic about your skills and how you see yourself fitting in certain places and using those skills. So network, have conversations, attend free virtual seminars. If you have the financial means, join, ones that cost money, and meet people and engage and put yourself out there, right? Number 4, which is my favorite, and you'd probably think back and say, but Leanda, this is not a skill. But be aggressive, be aggressive. Things are changing, and wonke umuntu is trying to find their feet and trying to make it work during this time. We've never encountered such a time as this. So wonke umuntu is trying their level best to make sure that they stay relevant. So be aggressive and don't take no for an answer. It's very hard to get a job, in this day and age and this time, especially under a pandemic. It's very, very hard because, a lot of companies are retrenching, letting go of people, changing the way in which they work. But that doesn't mean that you need to sit because during this time. No company is hiring. In fact, companies are letting go of people, but that doesn't mean that they don't need that skill. They're letting go of what they don't need. Find out what companies need. What are they looking for now? I think this is the greatest time for anyone with a qualification in IT or somebody good with coding and all these things that are required. So find out what the company needs, and if you can and you have that skill, go out there and offer that skill to people. So be aggressive, don't take no for an answer, And lastly, number 5, I've been saying the word value. So make sure you add value, guys. This is such an important skill. Know the value that you possess, and always align it to what the company needs or to what you see as a need in the company. You can't just apply for a company and be a typical graduate in HR, be a typical graduate in accounting, be a typical graduate in communications. What value are you going to add? What is that factor about you, that aha thing that organizations need? So always make sure, whether you're approaching a mentor, whether you're applying in an organization, whether you're in an interview, always highlight the value add element that you possess and that you carry. So those are the 5 skills that I think are very, very important to survive the current, work environments. Do share what you feel is also important. Let's have a conversation in the comments down below. I'll be seeing you guys next week. Same place, same time, and we will be tackling difficult questions that people, struggle with during interviews. So it's going to be a very amazing session. If you also have questions that you'd like me to look into and you'd like answered when it comes to interviews, do drop them down below, and I will answer them in my next videos. But for me to you, I'm out.